Next, we'll look at EPF and SOCSO category. Again, each employee personal detail file, you also have the option to define the category that's applicable to the employee for purposes of EPF and SOCSO contribution. So if you look at our example employee Injit Maslan has got a category under its EPF set to 1. But if I drop down the table, you see that UBS payroll actually allows you up to a total of 6 different categories. So in this case, Injit Maslan is set to category 1 for his EPF and also category 1 for his SOCSO. Now what happened is that if the particular employee is no longer required to contribute any SOCSO or EPF contribution, you should set the category to X. So in this case, if I change it to X, and the similar thing with tax, if it's no longer required to pay PCB, you set the category to X. So I've set the category for Injit Maslan to X for EPF, SOCSO and PCB, but we have retained for Mr. Robert Tan his category to be 1, 1 and 1 for EPF, SOCSO and PCB. So having done that, if we now go into the second half payroll and do a process pay, and when we view the pay slip for Injit Maslan, you'll notice that Injit Maslan no longer make any contribution in his EPF and SOCSO. Similarly with his tax. But for Mr. Robert Tan, we have left it as to be with EPF and SOCSO and tax, and therefore his statutory contribution is continued to be deducted from his payslip. So if it is the case where the employer is no longer required to pay any statutory contribution, you need to set the category to X.